There was a man by the name of John Todd who came out in the 70s to speak out on his experience, his insider experience of exactly what kind of sorcery the music industry is involved in. And although he refers to rock, but now, of course, we have many other genres of music, and it's pretty much in all of them that are popular. Here's what he has to say.
I sit on a council of 13 people that take orders only from the Rothschild Tribunal in London, which they claim they take their orders directly from Lucifer.
I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions, its name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what they call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. But the name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan's owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil is owned by the Lords of London. You can track it on back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Now, one of the closest friends that I got was a man named David Crosby. I saw David the day before Christmas last year, talked with him. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. When him and Crosby, Still, Nash & Young produced the record 2-8 Street, they ordered the Principality of Medici to order demons of rebellion to go into the record, and everybody that heard it would be rebellious against law and order and government. This is why a master's cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken into a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive office. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. You can't cast a spell on a Christian, but you can get a Christian to cast a spell on themselves.
Make me your Aphrodite.
Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like, and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. Music is not just a song. It is supernatural music that which is carefully designed by their spirit guides or familiar spirits in the form of spells.
We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel. We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ who have good cognitive function who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you know, you can kind of piece it together as to why they are so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society.
Oh yes, and music is a whole another area that employs these techniques. Popular music, all popular culture, it's not just entertainment. Entertainment is not value-free. It has ideological content. It presents a worldview that influences the people who are watching or listening. So we've got this disconnect, thinking that entertainment is harmless when it's the most important delivery system of propaganda, because it influences people without their conscious awareness, and that's the ultimate in controlling people in society, is to do it without them being aware of it.
colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. The Secretive Brotherhood of Freemasons laid the Washington obelisk's cornerstone in 1848 and contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges financed the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. At the heart of London city-state is a 187-ton, 69-foot-tall Egyptian obelisk called Cleopatra's Needle. It was transported from Egypt and erected on the banks of the River Thames. In Vatican City, another Egyptian obelisk towers high above St. Peter's Square.
So does the whore that rides on the beast, America, Babylon, have idols? Certainly. We were a part of their system all along. But I wanted to point this out to you because it really ties in and shows you that we have been a part of this beast system. We have been riding the beast, but now, just like it says in Revelation 17:16, the beast will turn on us and spit us out. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire.